The vice president is down in Texas touring some of the damage. Live pictures as they come in here on Fox as he talks to some of the victims who were hit hardest there as Harvey came ashore. And Harvey obviously made landfall in Texas, but then it went back into the Gulf of Mexico and headed up into Louisiana. And that is where one Louisiana man really had to think outside the box to protect his home. And he built a makeshift dam using, get this, vinyl piping and water pumps. And the whole setup cost him about $850. Pictures on your screen now. Joining us from Lafayette, Louisiana, is Stafford Barnett. Nice to talk to you, sir. We found these on social media. This is quite the setup you had.
Yeah, thanks. Desperate times call for innovation.
Well, innovation for sure. So was there ever a time you were worried that this wasn't going to work, or was the water pretty much always contained?
I was worried the whole time that it wasn't going to work, to be honest with you. You know, my wife and I's home flooded in the rains last August. And this was, you know, my wife and I were watching the storm coming in and seeing, you know, how rapidly it was growing. And you know, at one point I just said, you know, we're too stressed out over this. You know, we were displaced from our home for almost 6 months. I said, I got to do something. And last year, my brother-in-law has suggested, you know, using this pipe, and I thought it wouldn't work. I thought it was a pipe dream. And last Thursday, I drove to the place that sells this stuff, and I looked at it, and I went, man, this just might work. And so I kind of left there.
It did work in this case, correct?
It did work, and you know, fortunately, we didn't see the rains that we saw last August. You know, in order for my house to have flooded again, I would have needed the water to go up about 7 inches up the pipe at the lowest point.
Wow!
And that pipe provided 10 inches of protection. Well,
it turned out to be enough. I want to get to this because you said something that's important. That 6 months ago your house is flooded, and what a lot of our viewers don't realize is just how flood prone huge parts of southwest Louisiana and southeast Texas are. So you really understand what folks in Houston and in Lake Charles and in Port Arthur are going through. You were out of your house for the next 6 months. Take us through from when your house flooded, quickly, sort of the first couple of months. What are people going to be going through over the next couple of weeks who are facing the same calamity you faced?
Well, first off, my hearts go out to those guys and everybody who's been affected by this. The first thing that happened to me was it was absolutely impossible to see the finish line and how to get there. And you got to take it day by day, and you got to be patient with each other. You know, we were fortunate we had flood insurance, and 1 inch of water did almost $200,000 of the damage. And so it's real important for people who whether they have flood insurance or not, to get in there, start demoing the house, get the mold out, limit your exposure to the water, to the mold that's going to be in the air, limit your children's exposure to it, and every day count your blessings, because if you don't, you can go crazy doing this stuff. And take care of your mental health. Accept help from others. People are going to offer it. Take it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of folks. Kind. There's a lot of folks down there ready to help. Stafford, we're glad your home didn't flood, and that's good advice you have in terms of counting your blessings. And there's a lot of folks who say that so long as they've got their family with them, anything is possible now. Appreciate you being with us, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck.